Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have Teddy Carr in house.
Teddy Carr, I've never heard that one before.
We have Ted in the house, and Ted has got most of his calories from fruit over the past 14 years. He's eaten mostly fruit, and he's thriving. He's doing great, so we brought him on the channel for a Q&A today. You guys have some great questions. Nothing is off limits, so we're going to get to the bottom of everything with Ted. What's going on?
Glad to be here. I'm excited to eat this durian.
Yeah, this durian. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys like durian. Do you like the smell? Do you like the taste? I had one once I really liked, and then another time it was okay. I don't think it smells that bad. I think people just think like, because it smells different. Do you think it smells really nasty?
It's the best smell in the world.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's good. Well, let's get into questions. Okay, so the first question is he still eating some cooked food?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and if you guys want to get to know Ted more in case you don't know him, check out the last video where we went a bit more in depth about his journey as a raw vegan and how it's changed his life, cleared up his skin. He had terrible acne before and all sorts of things. So what type of cooked food are you eating and how do you feel best?
Yeah. So as I mentioned in the other video, some days I'll go all raw on just fruit. Other days I go all raw with some greens and some veggies. And then if I am going to eat cooked food, it's generally about 600 calories worth. The reason I know that is because 1 cup of rice equals 600 calories. 1 cup of quinoa is 600 calories. 1 cup of buckwheat is 500 calories. And if I'm going to make cooked food, I'm just going to have 1 scoop of that dry, cook it. It makes like 2 or 3 cups cooked or whatever. And it equals about 600 calories.
Do you think you're addicted to cooked food? Kevin's laughing behind the camera.
It's a drug, 100%.
Yeah.
I treat it in the same way I used to treat weed.
It's true though.
Like I approach a cooked
funny,
food
right?
meal. I approach a cooked food meal in the same way I used to approach getting high.
And do you miss getting high? Or do you still smoke weed?
No, never.
No.
Like, I mean, maybe once or twice a year as like a medicinal thing. Like if I'm in the back of a seat, or back of the car and I'm driving and I'm super nauseous, I'll like want some weed. Or when else? One time out of nowhere, like a few months ago, I just woke up and I was so nauseous. And I was like, I just need a little bit of weed. So I smoked a little bit of weed and then boom, nausea went. I'm like, oh, life's good.
Wow, that's good. And what do you think?
But it effed me up so much. It's like, I don't know how people smoke that every day.
Yeah, I would just be so lazy. This channel would not exist. I don't know how people do it. And some people, I think, use mushrooms. Like I got some trauma for some stuff and people keep telling me to go do these mushroom ceremonies. Do you know anything about this? Have you done this?
I've done a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah, and you think they're therapeutic?
Actually, I've done one ceremony. They can be for sure. Yeah, I don't think you need to go to a ceremony though. I think you could just take them alone or take them with somebody and just hang out with a pen and paper.
I did mushrooms once. I think I was 19. I was with my boyfriend. And I just saw fire on his head, like devil horns of fire, and the curtains started moving. I don't know if this is normal, but I haven't done them since because I was like, this isn't a great experience, but maybe it is for some people. And okay, let me find the next question. Okay, so we talked about in the last video, you've had a athletic transformation, really big time over the last while, like so much so people accuse you of being on steroids, but he's not, and he is all natural, not natty, right? Is that what I say? That's what he's
full natty.
Full natty. He's full natty. I get it confused. And he looks great. So the next question is advice for vegan athletes.
Advice for vegan athletes. What kind of advice? Dietary advice? Mindset advice? Training advice? Recovery advice?
Well, there's another one too. Fitness routines while juicing. Oh no, that's a different one. No, that's a totally different one actually. So yeah, any advice for vegan athletes? Like, maybe protein and building like how you have.
Sure, if you want to go the protein route. My best advice for protein is to test. In fact, here's my advice for vegan athletes in general. You're going to ask a general question, I'll give you a general answer. Test things. Test to see how good something is with helping you recover. Test how good something is at helping you get stronger. Test how good something is at helping you get faster. Test how good something is with its digestion on race day or whatever. Test how good something is before you just make it a part of your overall program. Someone who's really good at this, by the way, his name is Brian Johnson. He has a free program online. It's called Blueprint. And he's like this anti-aging expert. And he tests everything. And he only incorporates it into his program once it's been rigorously tested. So that would be my advice. And a lot of people say like, oh, such and such is good for muscle soreness. Personally, for example, I've found nothing to help with muscle soreness besides time. So if my legs are really, really sore, it doesn't matter if I do a water fast, if I do a juice fast, if I overeat on calories, if I do high fat, high carb, if I do rolling, if I eat someone told me, do a bunch of baking soda. Doesn't matter what I do. If my legs are sore, nothing's going to speed up the recovery process besides time. Not even like some light swimming or walking is going to help. They're still going to be so incredibly sore. So that's like one of those things where people like often they just like hear something and then they just they just start sharing it with everyone else, parroting it. But it's like, just test something. Like if squats make you stronger and you enjoy squats, do squats. I hate squats personally. Weighted squats. I love body weight squats. I do those. So just test stuff. That would be my best advice. Test things. Don't be afraid to like be a pioneer and try something.
And you only work out, so you find it more effective to work out 3 times a week, right?
It's another test. I used to work out 5-6 days a week, and each workout was like an hour. And then, this is crazy. I have a training log on my phone, and you can see like how frequently I worked out, and you can see how much I plateaued in terms of my strength did not go up at all. Then when I cut my workouts down to just 2 to 3 times a week, the strength goes up. It's incredible. You can see the graph on my phone. It's insane. Wow. So yeah, working out less, but harder. Because when you work out less, you're more fresh. And so you can push harder. Like if I tell you, Jill, I want you to give 100% effort today, tomorrow, and the next day, 3 days in a row, you're going to be able to. But if I say, Jill, I want you to give 100% effort on Monday, and then Thursday, and then Saturday, you probably could. And you're fresh.
I was thinking too with what you were saying before, a lot of people I interview on the channel, they say that one of the big reasons they're raw vegan or went raw vegan was because they noticed the recovery was so much better. Well,
this is what I'm saying about the testing. If you find that, I haven't done the test of cooked food versus raw food and see how that helps with recovery, but
yeah, do the testing. You're right.
Do the testing.
Well, yeah. Somebody else asked, when putting on muscle, what did you eat?
Nothing changed.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Just better.
The what didn't change. The how didn't change. The only thing that changed was my training. Like, you can build muscle eating McDonald's. You can build muscle eating mangoes.
That's the thing, yeah.
It's like as long as you're getting enough calories.
It's more the training, right? I think a lot of times people think it's the food, but it's more the training, I feel like.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody wants to know the quantities of food you eat in a day.
It's probably less than people think.
Yeah.
I seem to surprise people with the I posted in these certain Facebook groups telling people how much I eat, and they don't believe me. They think I eat way more. But if you follow me around for the day, you'll see how much I actually eat. It's about 2,200 calories, sometimes 2,000.
Yeah.
I used to do like 3,000 plus, but that was when I was doing a lot of cardio. And cardio just burns so many calories. So it's easy to eat 3,000 plus calories and not get fat when you're doing a lot of cardio. I am sedentary like 23 and a half hours a day.
Wow.
So I work out for a half hour. What else am I doing the rest of the day?
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Sitting. What were you doing before I came in here? Sitting. What are you going to do tonight? You're going to lay down. What are you going to do tomorrow morning? You're going to wake up and sit. Like, we're so sedentary. We don't deserve 3,000 calories plus. People who eat that many calories, I know people who do, they're not very active, and they're all overweight.
True, yeah.
Even raw vegans, they're struggling to lose weight because they're overeating the calories because they're so sedentary. You can only get away with eating that many calories when you're very active. Or if you're like on hormones, like if you take some steroids, then that'll burn up.
And sometimes I think it's your Instagram. Sometimes you post stuff of clips from like other decades back in the day, or maybe it's someone else I'm thinking, where you look at like everybody on the beach and nobody's like overweight, right? It's kind of crazy to think. That's crazy how things have changed over time. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, the next question is your detox symptoms. Did you have detox symptoms? I fortunately didn't when I went raw, but I know a lot of people do experience that. Did you have some, and how did you deal with it?
Not that I can recall. Detox symptoms. The only detox symptom I guess I had was my skin cleared up. Like I had acne and then it went away.
You had bad acne.
Very bad acne. That was my detox symptom.
And how long, people always ask, how long did it take for your skin to clear up?
That I feel like is the wrong question to ask, because if you ask me how long did it take me for my skin to clear up, and I tell you it took 2-3 months, you'll be like, oh, it's gonna take forever, I don't have time. If I say it took me like 2 weeks, you're gonna be like, oh crap, I've already been on my 3rd week and it still hasn't cleared up.
Yeah.
So my answer is probably not super helpful for you. So instead I suggest asking, what's the best thing I can do to clear up my skin the fastest? And the answer to that is to just eat fruit, low-fat fruit. If you live exclusively off pineapple and mangoes and bananas and dragon fruit and grapes and peaches and plums and nectarines and as many melons as you want for a few days, few weeks, few months, whatever, your skin will clear up the fastest. Hands down. As long as you're getting enough sleep as well. Sleep really helps. So that's the best thing you can do is just eat low-fat fruit and get lots of sleep. And exercise. You combine those 3 things, your skin will clear up very, very quickly. Having said that, mine cleared up entirely within 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay, that's good. And would that be how you say people should detox? Because somebody said how to detox your body. Is that what you would recommend? Like what you were saying with eating the fruit?
The body's always detoxing. You don't have to try. You don't have to try to detox. It's always detoxing. Every exhale, exhale right now, you just detoxed.
They say you got to
So
toxins.
breathing, breath work really, really helps.
Breath work,
you
yeah.
combine breath work with some fitness, some cardiovascular fitness, eating juicy fruits, getting a lot of sleep. Yeah. The reason people feel so much better when they get enough sleep and they get enough fruits and whatever, it's like their body's just in this optimal environment for feeling its best. When you're feeling your best, you're going to look your best.
True.
So yeah, I don't think you need to try to detox. Let the body detox. It's always doing it. You just got to let it. You can like slow down detox by eating really fatty foods. Or you can let it
Good
be
point.
its natural rate by eating juicy fruits.
True. Okay, the next question said, any idea why someone would not lose weight only juicing and eating fruit?
I can get excess calories if I eat fruit and juice. You know how easy it is to get 3,000 calories? If I have 10 banana smoothie in the morning and another 10 banana smoothie around lunch, that's 2,000 calories already. Now let's say I have some juice in the evening. A 500 calorie thing of juice. There's 2,500 calories. There's an extra 500 calories I don't need. And do you know how many calories do you know how many calories is in a pound of fat, body fat? 3,000. Which means if I overeat by 300 calories for 10 days in a row, I now have a pound of fat. If I overeat for 300 calories for, a year, that's easily, I just put on like 20 pounds of fat. And that's only 300 calories.
Yeah,
That's an extra 3 bananas. If you overeat by 3 bananas, you will get fat. It's so easy to get fat. It's so easy to get fat. All you have to do is eat extra.
Yeah, true. And you don't feel as good when you eat extra. When you overeat, like you don't feel as good. I feel like mentally too, even if it's the healthy food, you know?
You don't feel as good, you don't look as good.
Yeah.
And typically when you look your best, you also feel your best just by looking at yourself. Like you feel your best when you look at yourself looking your best.
Yeah, this is the GILLIANBERRY vein channel. No, it's true.
No, think about it. If you get fat and you look at yourself, you will feel worse just by looking at yourself.
It's true.
You'll be like, wow, I look like shit.
Yeah.
And then you're going to feel like shit because you look like shit.
Look good, feel good, eat good, feel good.
And the only way I look my best is the same way everybody else on the planet looks their best, which is by getting lean. I was at the airport yesterday. I go to the magazine section and I see the magazines, all the magazine covers. Guess who's on the cover of all these different magazines?
Who?
Lean people. They're all lean. Lean men, lean women. They're just lean.
Do people still buy magazines?
No, but they look at them.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, well, yeah, good points. Okay, the next one.
And sorry, what is lean? Lean just means you don't have a bunch of excess fat. And as we said, excess fat can be as simple as 3 bananas a day.
I think it's hard for people though. They struggle, you know, it's hard. And people aren't feeling happy in their life. That's the only thing they got, those moments of like eating the foods, you know?
Yeah, totally. But this is why you've got to feel it first. So when I was fat, I'll tell you a story.
You were fat?
I'll tell you how I got fat.
I cannot picture you fat,
I was not fat, but you know what I kept doing? I kept joking about how I was fat. I kept saying, "Oh, I'm so fat. Oh, I'm so fat." I kept joking about it. And I kept slapping my stomach and like squeezing whatever skin I had. Like, look at this fat. I was joking about it. And then next thing you know, I was fat. Had a gut. And so I started to joke about being lean again. When I had my gut, I was like, oh, I'm so sexy. Look at my six pack. And I had like a gut.
Yeah.
But I joked my way down
abs.
to getting lean again.
Yeah.
You know? So you just use law of attraction and you can manifest being super sexy and lean. Like just say, oh, I'm so sexy. I'm so lean. But like just joke about it, but do it consistently. And you can manifest it.
It's so true. Yeah, I love it. Good points. I love that. Yeah, the next one was law of attraction. They were asking for some law of attraction stuff. And we talked about a lot of that stuff in our last video. So go check that out. That was a really good one. And that was you. The next one is, hi, I'm a new fruitarian and I just filled the Ted Carr survey. Does Ted eat nuts?
They just what, the survey?
I don't know. They said I just filled the Ted Carr survey. Do you have a survey on your website or something? I don't know.
I think I know what they're talking about. It's not really a survey, but what's the question? Do I eat nuts?
Do you eat nuts?
Extremely seldom. If I do, it's very small amounts. Like, if you give me the choice between a durian and a nut, what am I going to pick? The durian. You give me a choice between a mango and a nut, what am I going to pick?
The mango.
You give me a choice between a pineapple and a nut, what am I going to pick? I'm always going to pick the fruit if there's an option.
Nuts can be good though if you need to be full for a longer period of time and it's like, oh, I'm traveling, maybe eat like a couple handfuls of nuts, you know, you're good for longer than if you eat a mango before you get on a flight or something, you know, or maybe not necessarily a flight sitting, but I don't know.
I just, you know what, this might be controversial, but I'll say it anyway. What I've done a lot in the past is I like the texture and the taste of certain nuts or seeds, but I've never felt good eating them and swallowing them. So what I would do, and I would still do this today if you offered me some, which you haven't offered me any, by the way, so I'm kind of offended.
Any what?
Your pumpkin seeds.
Oh no, I said all this food is open to you.
So what I would do is take a handful, chew it, get the texture, get the flavor, and then spit it out. And then when I spit it out, I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't swallow that.
Yeah, really? Wow.
To me, it's so dry, and it's like
it's harder to digest.
It's hard to digest. I feel like a little brick in there. I like to feel like no digestion's happening. Don't you feel your best when you're not digesting anything?
Yeah, I do.
And don't you feel your worst when you're like, oh God, I can feel it digesting?
Yeah, you do.
So if I'm gonna have nuts or seeds, I love milking them, drinking the milk. That's the best.
That is
liquid
the best.
form, liquid pumpkin seeds, liquid hemp seeds, liquid cashews, whatever, liquefied almonds, walnuts.
And they're a great replacement for dairy. Like many people don't realize how good they are. You don't need dairy. And do you think dairy is a big cause of acne? I do. Do you think that's a big cause?
100%.
Yeah.
Dairy and gluten. In fact, I don't think meat or dead animals or murder victim body parts is a contributing factor to acne. I think it's gluten and dairy.
I agree.
If you just cut those, gluten, dairy, and excess fat. If you cut out the excess fat, cut out the dairy, cut out the gluten.
I agree. Well, okay, sugar is something too. The next question is sugar consumption a concern? How to manage sugar intake? What do you think about sugar?
I love sugar.
You love sugar?
Yeah, sugar's great. Watch this. Let's say, okay, I know a lot of people say sugar is evil, sugar is poison.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at like the I think there's like 3 or 4 isolated nutrients. I think it's 4. There's salt, isolated nutrient, right? Nobody makes a big deal about salt. They go past the salt, put a little bit of salt on something, right? No big deal.
Yeah.
Cool. Oil. Nobody makes a big deal about oil. Put some oil in the pan, a little bit of oil here, put some oil in the raw foods. It's part of the recipe. Blah, blah, blah. Boom. Isolated nutrient. Next one, protein powder. No one makes a big deal about that. People consume it all the time. Protein powder, protein powder, protein powder. Need more protein. Isolated nutrient number 4, sugar. Everyone freaks out. Holy fuck, sugar. It's not good, not good. Okay. So now that we have all these 4 isolated nutrients, let's go walk 100 kilometers nonstop. You can pick one of those 4 isolated nutrients. Which one are you going to pick? If you pick salt, you will die. If you pick oil, you will vomit. If you pick protein powder, you will have the worst gut ache ever, and you're not going to make it beyond the 20 kilometer mark. Sure. The only nutrient that's going to get you to that 100 kilometer mark is sugar. Whether you're walking it or running it, sugar will keep you going for days, weeks, months. And I'm talking nothing but water and sugar.
So you're pro sugar.
100%.
Do you consume a lot of sugar?
No.
No.
Why would I need to?
Yeah.
In its isolated form, no.
Okay, one thing. So what do you say?
But I'm not against it.
What do you say when people say, this is crazy, all this fruit, this is so much sugar? Like sometimes people will comment when I eat a lot of fruit. But it's funny, I had so many blood sugar problems before I was raw vegan, hypoglycemic, I would faint. If I didn't eat, like my blood sugars were a mess. Like, so eating lots of fruits and juices and smoothies, there's no problems. But what do you say about that?
Yeah, absolutely not. Like when people say the word sugar, I guess people have different interpretations of the word. Typically, when I hear the word sugar, because it depends on the context of talking about it, but I typically imagine like a white powder.
Me too.
So when people look at like a pineapple or a mango, I think they also think there's just a bunch of white sugar powder in the mango. You know, or
They
white
do.
sugar powder in
No,
the...
they do. It's very common.
And it's like you said, you've experienced no issues with it whatsoever. Thank you.
You just have something on your head. Yeah.
Thanks. No issues with it. So like I said earlier with the other question, just test things. See how you feel.
Yeah, good point.
But also, like sugar is like a nutrient that when you consume it, your cortisol drops. When sugar is consumed, cortisol goes down.
I've heard that, yeah.
So if you're stressed out and you take a cup of water and you take some white sugar and drop it in there and you drink that, cortisol, boom, you're all of a sudden you're like, ah. But you don't need to have white sugar powder. You can just eat pineapple, mango, banana.
I think some people are big on the white sugar though, right? I think 𝑔ILLIANBERRY, that's his thing, right? And some other people really like the white sugar thing.
Yeah, it's silly. To me, it's like it's really not necessary. It's kind of like that guy you interviewed recently about drinking his own pee.
Oh yeah.
Drinking your pee and drinking white refined sugar, I see as like almost the same thing. Like, it's really not necessary, but you can do it.
It's so
like,
different
it's
to
really
me.
not necessary.
But yeah. Have you ever tried urine therapy, drinking your own pee or no?
I've drank my own pee lots
You
of times.
have? You swear?
Yeah, but it's not, I don't look at it like therapy.
Why did you do it then? Just testing it out, see what happened?
Yeah, like it's
You don't feel like you're going to gag?
not at all.
It's not for me, but I don't judge. That's why I like it.
No, here's how it came to be though. Like, I was super grossed out by it for a long time. That was so nasty. And then my buddy Tim was over, Tim Sheaf, and he's like, Ted, I'll drink your pee. And I was like, if this guy's going to drink my pee, I'll drink my pee.
What, you guys?
So I pissed in a jar. I gave it to him. He drinks it right in front of me. And he's like, oh, this is really good. So I'm like, no way. So then I go to the bathroom.
What?
I pee in it. I drink it. I'm like, oh, it's actually really good.
I can't. It's good? You enjoyed the taste?
Because I was so hydrated. If you,
I thought you were saying 'cause I was so
it
high.
depends what you've just eaten. If you just ate a bunch of asparagus, it's probably nasty. But if you just drank a bunch of coconut water and papayas and durian,
Well, they say it has benefits.
the only benefit I found is that it's a hydration source. But that's what I'm saying. It's really unnecessary. Because if you could drink pineapple juice or mango juice or just some water, you don't need to drink your own pee.
Let me know, guys. Have you tried drinking your own pee? And would you try drinking your own pee?
And just to be clear, I found no benefits to drinking my own pee other than a convenience factor. So one time, for example,
Convenience.
it was super convenient. I was in this meeting and I couldn't leave on Zoom. I couldn't leave.
Oh, no.
And so I had to pee so bad. So I just peed in the jar.
I know where this is going.
And then the jar got full.
While you're on the Zoom, you
Yeah.
peed under in the
No
jar?
one could tell.
And then drank the
And
pee?
the pee was so... I looked at it. I was like, it's really clear. I'm going to tell. So I just started drinking it right on Zoom. Nobody could tell.
Wow.
And so it's very convenient. I didn't have to go to the washroom.
If they only knew what was going on behind that camera right there. And speaking of like cameras and watching stuff, so the no fap movement, do you still do that?
Yeah.
Like no fap. Let me know if you guys
Yeah,
go do that down below.
it's less about no fap and it's more about semen retention.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. That's where you retain it. So you don't watch porn, you don't do any of that, or maybe sometimes you still will. You think it's toxic when people do that?
I think Instagram is a form of soft porn.
Makes me laugh, but I'm laughing, but it's true.
Yeah.
But I know it's true. That's why I've never heard it put that way.
TikTok as well. Hella.
TikTok is
That
maybe
shit
more
is-
towards hardcore porn and Instagram. So
Yeah.
no.
That porn can ruin people. It can ruin people for
I guess
sure.
it does. I shouldn't laugh, but I guess people get addicted, right?
People get addicted.
And
but,
maybe they say that energy should be transmuted to other things.
Of course, but there's two habits here. One habit is semen retention, and the other habit is not watching porn.
Yeah.
Two completely different habits. Both are great habits. But watching porn not only has like the first consequence, there's many like initial consequences, but then there's like second order and third order consequences of watching porn. Some of which is like you don't find normal sex enjoyable anymore. You need like that hardcore sex like you watch on porn.
You think that happens to people, really?
Oh yeah, they get desensitized completely.
Crazy. That seems crazy to me. Then they wouldn't enjoy the regular sex because they're used to seeing, you know?
They can't even get hard.
Wow. Unless they watch porn, like with a regular, wow, that's crazy.
Because it's not as exciting as the porn. In fact, a lot of guys have to watch porn while they're having sex.
Yeah. And it's not natural. It's not normal to watch it. I mean,
if you think about what you're actually doing when you're watching porn, you're watching, as a guy, you're watching a dude bang the chick that you want to be banging.
Yeah.
So you're putting yourself in such a like a little,
it's weird,
beta bitch position, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're like, that woman's so hot, I would have sex with her, but I'm gonna watch this dude rail her. It's so weird to think about. So there's that aspect, and then like the semen retention I was saying, like that's such a game changer because think about an orgasm. Or imagine what it feels like to have an orgasm. It's one of the best feelings ever for us in this plane, for most people. It's like it's some fantastic feeling. Nothing comes close to being as good. And so when you have an orgasm, you feel like, let's say 10 out of 10 pleasure. Everything for the rest of the day now doesn't compare to that. You're like, eating a mango is like, okay, compared to the orgasm, it's like a 6. Eating the pineapple, okay, it's compared to the orgasm, it's like a 7. Hanging out with you, okay, compared to the orgasm, hanging out with you right now is like an 8. You know, it's like, it doesn't compare. But when you don't have that orgasm hit, now your baseline is like, oh wow, this durian becomes the baseline, the pineapple becomes the baseline, hanging out with you becomes the baseline, you know? So you compare stuff to something that's not so artificially spiked, if you will.
Well, that's cool. That's a good way to answer that.
Yeah, and also if you're ejaculating with a partner, this can be dangerous. If you ejaculate with a partner a lot, biologically, your body's like, okay, I've already impregnated her. Who's next? It's called Cupid. There's a book called Cupid's Poison Arrow. Cupid's Poison Arrow, meaning like if you keep shooting your arrow into your partner, eventually it's kind of like poisonous because now you're not interested in your partner because you've already impregnated her. And you're looking for the next one. But if you hold that semen in, then you can extend the duration of your attraction to that partner. This is like a hypothesis in the book, but...
no, but that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's also a form of self-discipline.
Yeah.
Because coming is so easy. Most guys come in like freaking 5 seconds. If you're like good, you can hold it for like 15, 20 minutes. If you're like a master, you can hold it for like half hour or whatever. But like if you just don't come, you're practicing self-control.
As a guy, do you feel like you want to impregnate a bunch of different women?
Only if they're extremely high-quality women.
Yeah. Do you think you want kids or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want lots of kids.
I could see you as a dad. Okay, so the next one, simple, what are you eating today? Everyone's always wondering that. So what are you eating today?
I've been asked this probably more than where do I get my protein?
Yeah.
And I had this insight like this morning, I think. It was like, next time someone asks me that.
They're done.
No. I have a different answer now. And if someone asks me that, which you just did, I'm going to say, go look at what Chris Kendall eats. Go look at what GILLIANBERRY eats. Go look at what Dr. Doug Graham eats. Go look at what any other long-term raw vegan fruitarian eats. I eat the same thing. And you can just type on YouTube, Ted Carr, what I ate in a day. And you'll see dozens of videos of me breaking it down, different styles.
Well, somebody said, what would you recommend someone who has diabetes do who switched this diet? You know, people comment all the time on my lifestyle. How do you not have diabetes? And I had the blood sugar problems before the lifestyle, like I said. But what do you think for that answer?
Type 2 diabetes, I'm assuming, is what they're talking about.
Yeah, they didn't say. They just said.
Type 2 diabetes is one of the easiest things to reverse when you start eating a high fruit diet, a high carb, low fat diet. it can be reversed most of the time, like 90+% of the time, within the first 2 to 4 weeks. All someone has to do is eat lots of juicy fruits. That's it.
It's such a misconception that they're really toxic for you because of the sugars, right?
The
It's
success
crazy.
rate is incredible. In fact, there's this whole movement called Mastering Diabetes even. I think it's masteringdiabetes.com. And they sell this program. Shout out Robbie. Shout out Cyrus. I don't know how much the program is. Doesn't matter. But people pay hundreds of dollars to join the program. And once on the program, they just tell people to eat a bunch of fruit. And these people get crazy results.
So simple.
It's so simple. So you can either buy their program and do what I just told you, or just do what I just told you and eat a bunch of fruit. But if you buy their program, you probably learn a lot more about type 2 diabetes too. So if you are diabetic, check out masteringdiabetes.com and see what they say. They're going to tell you what I just told you though, but you'll learn a lot.
Yeah. Okay. And somebody said salad dressing recipes. Do you have a favorite
Mango,
couple?
date, basil. That's recipe number 1.
So how much mango, dates, and basil?
A lot of mango, a few dates, and as much fresh basil as you can get. A lot of fresh basil. And that's recipe number 1. Recipe number 2 is just guacamole.
Just guacamole.
Make some guacamole. There's your dressing.
No,
Done.
it's good. It's good. I like it.
And if you don't have mangoes for the mango date basil one, and you have persimmons, that's also amazing. Persimmon date basil.
That sounds good. A great smoothie too. I can't remember if you told me about it or somebody else. It's just so easy. Maybe I tried it. I forget. But just mango and bananas. So good, right? Just that smoothie.
So good.
It's just so simple.
Yep.
Well, that's it for our questions. This has been great. I'd love the Q&A. If there's anything else you want to share about you or anything else you want to get out there to end off, any advice or tips, then feel free to do so. And it's been great interviewing you in person. I've loved it.
Yes, it's been very fun. Thanks for having me. My final tip is to every time, if you're new to this diet and lifestyle and you want to really master it long term, the best thing I ever did is at every time I sat down for a meal, typically like dinner or lunch, I would open up a YouTube video, like a long form interview of a raw vegan, and I would just watch that interview while I ate my dinner. And over the years, all this wisdom I was getting from all these interviews just became my wisdom. So that would be my number 1 tip.
So
just
true.
keep consuming educational and inspirational information while you eat your dinners.
Okay, this reminds me of something. So this is what I usually always do is I watch stuff when I'm eating. You know, I have a big meal in the early afternoon
That's why
after I
you're
work
so
out.
smart.
And I'll watch like positive stuff. But somebody told me recently that you shouldn't watch things when you're eating because they said then your body doesn't think it's time to digest. So it screws up your digestion, they say. So they say that you should like only focus on the food and not do that.
For every suggestion, there will be a counter suggestion.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
For every suggestion, there will be a counter suggestion.
Yeah.
Like, I have a walking treadmill at home on my desk.
Yeah, I know. When I interviewed you, you were just moving and walking. And I was like, what's going on?
So I could make like 10 reasons. I could make a movie or a video, 10 reasons why you should walk while you work.
Yeah.
I could also debate the other side and say why you should actually sit down while you work. More focused, more calm, easier to think. Your blood doesn't go to your legs, more in your brain. Right? I can counter any argument or any advice.
Yeah. I just wish we had all the answers. Sometimes I just wish God would just give us all the answers in
No,
a
but
huge
you
PDF.
pick.
And it would just be like
I don't
easier.
think one way is better than the other. Like you can sit there and just eat, and you'll get a benefit from that. Here's the secret. This is the secret. Okay, if you're wondering like what's better, should I just eat or should I eat and watch videos? Here's the real secret. There are benefits to both.
Yeah.
Like there's a benefit to meditating, which is you're sitting and doing nothing. That's a benefit. Okay?
Yeah.
It's isolated benefit, sitting and meditating. Then there's a benefit of sitting and being in gratitude, thinking, I'm so grateful for this podcast. I'm so grateful for Jillian. I'm so grateful for Canada. That's major benefit there. But that is completely different than meditating. Then you think, okay, let's do visualization and let's visualize our perfect life. There's benefit to visualizing. Then there's benefit to doing affirmations. I'm the best. I love myself. My life is amazing. I make $1 million. I'm a billionaire, blah, 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 blah. There's benefits to affirmations.
Yeah.
Yet it's not meditating. Yet it's not visualization. It's not breath work. It's not blah, blah, blah. It's just like it's its own thing. So always look for the benefit of something. What's the benefit of sitting? What's the
Good
benefit?
point.
What's the benefit of being in person?
Yeah. More connection, right?
What's the benefit of being on Zoom? More
Well,
freedom, more
yeah,
flexibility.
yeah.
So there's always a benefit. So just look for it.
That's true, because we can look at the bad in anything and the benefit.
100%.
It's a good way. And I think a lot of us are programmed just because of how we grew up or however to like think at the bad about a person or the bad about this, bad about that. And I think like we reprogram and start looking at the good.
Yes. Like there is downsides to durian, no doubt.
Yeah.
But do you think I think of the downsides of eating a freaking durian? No, I think of the upsides. There's a downside to pineapple. There's a downside
Good
to
point.
anything in life.
This is getting ready to. It's not that soft, eh? Someone asked me, "Oh, is it soft?" But this thing is freaking hard. Like, is it going to soften up a lot?
No. It's ready to go.
It's hurting me, but
ready to go.
I like durian. So, well, that's great. Okay, I'm just curious. What are your 3 favorite YouTube channels?
3 favorite YouTube channels? I like this guy named Will Tennyson. Mm-hmm. You know him?
No.
Canadian. You should get him on the show
Maybe I
somehow.
will. Evan Carmichael, he's Canadian, eh? He's in Toronto. I'm going to try to get him on.
Get Will Tenny somehow.
Okay.
If you're going to get Will, though, call me. I'm going to fly out and be in the audience. Mm-hmm. Will's epic.
Well, we can have you right over here.
So Will is really interesting. And these aren't like top 3 favorites of all time. These are just like current 3 favorites. Like if you look at my YouTube watch history, you'll see I watch Will. And then that Brian Johnson guy I mentioned earlier, Brian Johnson from Blueprint. Very interesting guy. And then who else is really good? I love Alex Hormozy.
Mm-hmm. He's good.
So good.
He's good.
Incredible.
Yeah, I like those kinds of channels too. And, so I watch Evan Carmichael a bit. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
So he's in Toronto. I follow him on Instagram, and he had a good tip that just came to mind for some reason. If anybody is out there, you guys you're starting a YouTube channel, or you have one and you just started and you want to ask somebody to come on, he had a good tip, and he said, make a video of all the things you love about this person and why you want to have them on, and send them that video rather than just sending them like a text.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't that a smart idea? Send them a video. That if somebody sent you a video, like you'd be like, wow, that's awesome. Sure. You know what I mean? It's a great idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was a great idea.
Who are your top 3 favorites?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Well, I would say Ralph Smart. He comes to mind. And lots of times I just watch random. That's why I love YouTube, because it just knows what to show you. Okay, my current favorite is Elmer Locker Owens Jr. or something. His real name is David. He's awesome. I'm friends with him, and he has a manifestation law of attraction channel. And he just started a year ago, and he's at 210,000. So people are always like, you are manifesting this. And he has great affirmations I listen to. So those would be the 2. And then I really like Bradley Martin. I watch his podcast all the time.
That's so funny you say that.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Do you like Sarah Safari?
Yeah, I like her. I think she's cool. She is big on the scene now. She's just popped up. I didn't know her much before.
What a character. She was a nobody.
She's cool. She's just everywhere now.
She was a nobody online, and great example of how you can come up. She's completely herself.
Yeah, I
Very
like
funny.
her. She's cool.
It helps that she's beautiful and she has a nice body.
Yeah.
But very fun personality. And like she's a great example of like, she didn't plan anything. She just goes on camera and talks. Like she doesn't have a plan of what she's gonna say. She doesn't have anything scripted out. She doesn't have title ideas. She doesn't even know what problems she's solving for people, or what her special process is. Like nothing is planned out at all. She just talks. And Bradley Martin's very similar.
And he's good because he went through a lot. His dad died when he was young of suicide, I think, and he's been through a lot in his life. But you can see it's really turned him into what he is today, and a really good podcast host and a really good human being. And I mean, the hard times really make us interesting people and turn us into something amazing, right? I heard Joe Rogan talking about that. I traveled to Florida recently, and in the podcast on the way back, he was talking about how the most interesting people in the world have been through a lot of shit and a lot of hard times, right? And he's like, it's crazy, but that's just how it is. It's rare. You find a super interesting person who's had
look at Goggins.
Yeah.
Look at Goggins.
So you know what? These hard times are good.
Yeah, what's that? The quote, it's like hard times make strong people. Mm-hmm. And strong men or strong people make easy times. And the easy times make weak men or weak people. And the weak people make hard times. Mm-hmm. then those hard times go in to make strong people. And strong people go in to make easy times.
I like it.
And easy times make weak people. So it's like this cycle.
And everything's a season, right? Like
Yeah.
you're into Jim Rohn too. Like I went through a period when my husband and I separated, all I listened to was Jim Rohn. And I was just like, this guy is amazing. And he speaks on how everything's a season. So like the bad, it's just like, you know, winter, summer, spring, fall. Like there's always a season. The bad times don't last, just like winter doesn't last, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're up in Alaska.
True. Yeah, unless you're in Alaska. Well, let's end on that. This has been great. I've loved having you on. I've loved meeting you in person. It's just always like extra special and amazing meeting a fellow raw vegan. It's just,
What's one thing that has surprised you about me since we've met?
I think you're better looking in person than yeah, like he looks great online. So I don't want to be like, I think that could come across insulting when you tell someone they look better in person, because I still thought you looked great online. But I'm saying you look better looking in person.
You need to work on my photogenic skills.
And you're very like, you look very healthy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks healthy. That's these people, like when I interview Eli and stuff, they look healthier in person even to me. So yeah. Anything else you want to ask before we end off?
Who's the least healthiest person you've ever interviewed? Just kidding.
The least healthiest
Just kidding.
person I've ever interviewed?
Don't answer that.
No,
That's
yeah, I
just
can't
kidding.
answer that. Imagine I did. That's not my style.
This is so funny.
No, but there's lots of good interviews coming up, you guys. I'm going to LA the whole month of July. I'm excited to interview so many people in person. And Lou Corona, I'm going to interview. Johnny the Juicer, I think he's going to come on. Ralph Smart, I'm going to do in person.
Wow. Didn't you just do Ralph?
Yeah, I did, but we're going to do in person again.
Wow.
Yeah. And 𝑼𝑺𝑬 𝑪𝑶𝑫𝑬, she's amazing. She's 63. She looks incredible. So we're going to do some in person and a bunch of other people.
You should get Crystal Bonnet.
Yeah, she's in Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
I should. So if you guys know anybody else in California, let me know. But I have a big lineup even other than that. There's a lot of people. And we're going to do some in the kitchen, some in the studio like this. And it's going to be really awesome. So I'm super stoked for that. And yeah, I just love running the podcast. It's amazing. There's nothing else that makes me happier on earth than the podcast. But yeah, I love my kids so much. I was saying nothing makes me happier than doing the podcast, but and my kids, my time with my kids, they're like my heart outside myself. It's crazy how much I love my kids. Like so much, it's crazy. So,
that's cool to hear.
Yeah, like they're just like, I don't know.
You recommend having kids?
Yes, it's like even though it's so much work and I haven't slept in 5 years, it's the best thing I've ever done. It's hard to explain because it's like, it's so much chaos if you have more than one.
How many do you have?
It's so simple with one. They say 1 is 1, 2 is 100, and that's a fact. I have two. They fight like, and they're 6 years apart. The screaming and the chaos. And it's so much like, stop.
And yet you're still
you
so
don't
productive.
sleep. But then it's like you love them so much, right?
And yet you're so productive.
Because they're all foods. If I didn't eat this diet, I don't think I could have survived the last 5 years. And I'm not even exaggerating because my daughter, she wakes up a lot and it hasn't been.
You know what? You give the credit to the raw foods, but I think it's a combination of the raw foods and all the self-development you do.
True, yeah.
Because if you didn't do any self-development, you could eat all the watermelon you want, but you'd still be like, oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
But the self-development that you've been doing and that you do gets you to see the world in a way that you're like, no, I can make the best of this. I can make the best of this.
True, good point.
So never let that habit slip.
No, I won't. Sometimes I lose it though. It's not always rainbows and butterflies with me. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like just with all the chaos at home. But yeah, I agree.
But you shower every day almost?
Yeah.
You brush your teeth every day?
Yeah.
So you clean every day.
Yeah, I like
so
my place clean, my car clean.
With self-development every day too.
Yeah, true. I do
just
too.
a little bit.
And I think it's important to watch, if you're going to watch content, watch positive content, you know? Be mindful of what you're watching. I took 30 days off social media last year.
Yes.
And I decided if I like consume, I don't think I was on even YouTube or anything, but even the music I listened to, I was like, I'm only going to listen to positive stuff. I think it's so important that we're more mindful of what we take in and who we surround ourselves with, because my friend said to me the other day, like the person you're with or the friends you surround yourself with, how they talk to you or the things they say to you, like that's going to become your voice. So if you're in a relationship where the person's like calling you names or like belittling you, that might just automatically become your voice, you know? So be careful who you hang out with. Yeah.
Be very selective, yes.
Yeah. Well, you guys, if you don't already hang out on this channel, make sure you subscribe and give us a big like. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video, what you want to see more of. And go follow Ted. Where can everybody follow you?
People can follow me at fruitarian on Instagram.
That's a good handle you got, eh?
Thanks.
Yeah, when did you get that? Like 2012?
Early days, start of Instagram.
Yeah, wow, good one. Good for you. Anybody offered to DM you to buy it off you before?
No.
There's a Jillian. I tried to buy it off her.
Oh yeah, you
Just
should.
Jillian or GILLIANBERRY, because I have to have the underscore.
Yeah.
And I think the one is a girl. She has like, I don't know. She has a couple pictures of her cat up, and she just ignores my DMs.
You gotta.
I offered her a
be
little bit of
persistent.
money.
You gotta offer a lot. I bought Ted Carr.
You did?
I had to follow up so many times. I had to get on the guy a call with him multiple times, and I eventually bought it off him for a large sum.
Really? You just negotiated with him directly?
Yeah.
Wow, that was a good.
Yeah.
Some people.
I wanted to buy Ted Carr. I got it.
Oh, good. Oh, you didn't used to have it. Yeah, I
No.
got the underscore. Not as good,
Yeah.
but
Just persist.
yeah. So I'm gonna start persisting on that. Thanks for the reminder. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I love you guys so much. I think you're awesome, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Peace.